Hi everyone, welcome to Inside the Ropes. And it's always annoying starting these because I want to build up the massive guests that I've got, but you can see them, so it doesn't really work. But that being said, it would be rude not to give an introduction. So, I'm Gary Cassidy, of course, from Inside the Ropes. With me, I'm going to call him the Axeman, Axel Tischer. We'll get into this in a little bit. The man formerly known as Alexander Wolfe. It's a pleasure to speak with you, Axel. How's it going today?
Going well. Day so far so good. It's the second day after I got the bad message from WWE. Second night I had the time to sleep over. Quite honestly, I feel great and I'm quite happy, and I don't know why, but I'm now I know why, because I'm happy because the view of the whole world is back open. And I'm a little bit out of this WWE cloud, and I see a lot of possibilities, a lot of opportunities coming towards me. So I'm really pumped for that.
Excellent. I can see you're in a good mood. I'm going to try and not bring it down too much. I'll try and keep you in that good mood. So
I dare you.
We'll try and keep it positive. But before we get to the fun stuff, I mean, you've mentioned there that you feel a sense of relief now from the release. The one thing for me that was really striking about your release is you were on TV the night before. So that's the bit that for me, I feel like the first thing I need to ask is, did you know on Tuesday? Was there any sense that the release was coming on Tuesday, or did it come straight out the blue? When did you find out?
No, nothing at all. And after it happened, it kind of made sense what happens 2 weeks before. Not storyline wise, more like backstage wise, but it was weird. First off, that was one of the most things what sting me, what really sucked, was the way it was. I mean, it's a send off, and of course it has to happen somehow. But for me, I get the whole point how they did it, and it's better that than just disappear without explanation. And I'm happy that I could do it with my best friends. So I had the match against Killian Dane and just probably get the send off from two of my mates, which I'm very good and very two of my friends. They could give me their farewell for that, and I'm happy for them that they had the chance to give me that. But on the other side, it was very weird. It was that so now I hear a lot of reports. It has happened 3 weeks ago, and it explains a lot of things why they kind of stalled the storyline, because usually they plan the match and then they Triple H planned, no, let's do another angle and let's go the next week then. And for me is and in general, they not give you a lot of heads up with creative. And I'm just speaking NXT. Don't know how it is right now up there, Raw, SmackDown, but they don't give you a lot of heads up because with Corona and everything, one guy gets tested positive and the entire storyline has to, get postponed in the future. But with me was the thing, I tried to get a hold of Triple H or even Shawn Michaels. And both guys, very busy man. Shawn is very busy. Triple H is even more busy with his position and everything. So I kind of told myself, yeah, if they don't have the time, no need to rush. Because my plan was originally, I want to move back to Germany anyway.
Yeah.
Because I have a 2-year-old kid and I want that he grows up with his grandparents and they don't get younger.
Yeah.
So in that case, because of what happened with the pandemic, I stuck for a couple times in Germany. So I had the chance to anyway work with NXT UK. So it's an easier travel for me. And also, I'm back in Germany, so I wasn't that keen to stay in the States. So I tried to get, to chat with those guys and talk with them. Hey, is there a possibility? But it never came to that. And for me also was the big question, am I staying with Imperium or you want to do Sanity 2.0? And I never had the chance to talk with them. And I tried it a couple times, but it was yeah, we'll go back, get back to you. And no message or answered something. And again, both were very busy. So I'm not want to say they tried to dodge me, but it's kind of after thinking, yeah, you probably don't want to talk to a guy you plan to release because he did not, in your opinion, evolve as much as we keep the investment. And that's a part of the business. I'm totally fine with that because I learned in those 6 years to understand this. But it's more like the pride of me as a professional wrestler that I know I'm very good at what I'm doing. I'm probably not the biggest, the strongest. I'm not in the best shape I could be. I understand that. And that's also the first thing I do. I just, touch my own nose and ask myself what I have could do better to keep the job and not blaming others because that's weak. And also it's for me, like, I feel like I could do everything what they want from me. I did everything what they want from me in 6 years. I could be a clown. I could be serious. I can do almost everything in the ring what they want from me. And I'm very grateful for the 6 years because I learned a lot. But in the other end, it's kind of, you guys hire people. They're not able to take a single bump. They're not able to run the ropes. You have to teach them everything. And they get hired by WWE and you fire me. So that was the point where I even told the guy who gave me the bad message, like, that's the only thing what really pissed me off. But in the end, it is what it is. And, now I have the chance to find something else what makes me more satisfying. It's probably not as easy as getting paid that much money by sitting at home or doing nothing or eating catering. But in the end, it's now just, I have to hustle. I have to see what I can do. I have to see, who wants somebody on the show who can deliver.
Yeah, I love that, what you said, the mindset about, you instantly look at yourself as to what you can do better, because that mindset will obviously lend you well in any other path you go on, wherever you end up. The one thing before we get into the fun stuff, the one last thing I want to touch on about your release, I saw a little report today and the sentence said that your contract was set to run out on June 15th anyway. Is that correct?
Yes.
Just for verification, yeah.
Yes. WWE didn't release me, and it was not my choice. It was not my choice. If I had the choice, I probably would stay with WWE because it's the biggest company, and again, it's very comfortable to work for WWE because you make a lot of money with doing nothing. And it depends how you do. I still went to the performance center and used the facility as a tool for my own brand. But WWE told me, hey, we will not release you, but your contract is up in June 15th, though we will let you run out the contract. And then on June 16th, you're off to go, which I really appreciate because I kind of got the 30-day no compete clause. But not really. So they give me the heads up 4 weeks ahead. I have a lot of work to do now. Just get rid of all the household and then just move back to Germany. And then it's okay. But fair enough, I have to say, even if a lot of people just spitting venom right now and say, yeah, F WWE and everything. So they always take care of the talents. And they are even fair enough because they know I will go back to Germany because I need to, because of visa reason. They pay for my flight back. They are very kind in communicating with me just to, for example, because of moving reasons, I ask them to pay me out completely out of the contract, that I not get still the weekly salary, and they're cool with that. They even ask me if I want to have it. So it's you can be negative about WWE as much as you want, but even me being pissed off about the reason they let me go, I have to say fair play to them because they always took care of me and they always been very kind and very professional.
Yeah, it's I don't like the situation, but you've went about the situation in the right way. At least I guess it's a little silver lining. So I want to look back on your career a little bit. The positives, when we first started talking, my first thing that I said to you was the thing that will live with me is when you turned up in Glasgow at NXT UK and made your debut for the brand there. Obviously, there's been a lot because Sanity, Imperium, my God, there's been great moments in there. How do you look back at the run? What's the thing that stands out for you that you're like, oh man, at least I got to do that?
Definitely having the chance to perform for so many great, amazing wrestling fans. it doesn't matter if the States or like whatever, like Barclays Center in New York or Download Festival in England. So it's kind of like you have the Mudfest and you have like one of the most crazy arenas in the States over there. And also have the chance to tour with WWE. Like even when I was a part of SmackDown, I had the chance to have 2 European tours in England and like one was in Amsterdam and one was in Munich, Germany, which was cool. My first match under WWE umbrella in Germany. I have a lot of like great memories, but most importantly, I have great memories about the coworkers, all like the guys I had the chance to work with, have to learn like to know them, travel with them, sit backstage and play PlayStation and everything. Just having fun around fun people. And also not only the workers, also like staff members and everything, because WWE is a big family and everybody is working together. And you know, you have some good days, you have some bad days, you have times where you want to punch the wall, you have some times where you want to hug everybody. That's life, but that's the most important thing. I learned so many people to know how they kind of like how they are, how they feel. Like some people you have seen through the telly and then you think like, oh, he's a great guy, and then he's a total asshole. Vice versa. The other guys would think, oh, he's a little bit weird, and it turns out he's one of the coolest dudes ever. So not dropping names, but for example, I adore like the guys from New Day and Usos, because we had so many house shows together and they've been so kind to us. Just we came up from NXT and they taught us a lot, and they give us a lot of like chances to work with them and even like to do something with them without saying no, you green or whatever. So they've been very open to work with us. Also, like a lot of other guys, it would take too much time to name everybody, but just to have like the camaraderie of like the locker room and everything.
I love hearing that about the New Day and the Usos, because as someone who's a fan of them, it's great to hear that they're nice people. You know, when you were working on SmackDown, that's one thing. Working in wrestling media, you get a little bit desensitized to stuff, and when there's something that happens that's not a good decision, you're like, it's just life. I'm still a little bit annoyed about SAnitY's run on SmackDown, because I feel like it was such a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? Do you feel the same, or is it like, well, it's just life?
I definitely feel the same. But like I said in the beginning, it is what it is. It's part of the game. And so the difference between NXT and Raw and SmackDown, in my opinion, is it's like rock and roll and hip hop. That's, you know, you have a little bit something, it's not for everybody. And then the other thing is more mainstream. So you see like with SAnitY was a good act in NXT. And a lot of potential. And after we all like agree on one fact that we should not get the call up that quick, we should have stayed a little bit longer. We kind of been that close to have like a longer program with Undisputed Era. So that's what we pitched in that time, but it didn't wind up that way. It would be great because Undisputed Era guys, awesome, all awesome. And yeah, in the end, we got the call up. We were been happy, but I remember when, and that's like typical WWE. They always need to have a camera somewhere when you get something told for some documentaries or anything. So it was kind of like we get told, oh, you guys go and get a promotion, you know, you get called up to the main roster, but don't call it main roster, whatever. And then it's like, yeah, but it's just you 3 guys. Nikki will stay here. And automatically it wasn't a feel-good moment because we just grew so much together, like 4 guys from SAnitY, and like, it sucked in that time, so I wasn't that happy. But then in the end, you kind of think, yeah, let's go to SmackDown, because in the end, you know, I started 2015 and they always try to get in your brain like, oh, that's the goal. You have to go to the main roster. And that's when you're really into it and you travel the world and blah, blah, blah. And then in the end, it was kind of like, yeah, I did it. And I had like something accomplished what was on my bucket list. And now you make a lot of money and everything. But like what I really learned in that year is that this wrestling business, and I think especially WWE, is full of empty promises. And you have to know what you're dealing with. And in that time, we did not know. We did not know that we got told, yeah, Vince likes you. What Could be possible. I don't know. And yeah, you guys on every house show and you will be on every pay-per-view. They have big plans for you. In the end, it was, yeah, we have to delay debut. And then the first debut match you lose. And everybody kind of, you guys lost? It was your first match? Oh, that's not good. We said, okay, yeah, I guess, yeah, no, we have trust in it and they will do something with us. And then they repeated kind of that. And we got lost in the shuffle. We got lost in the water. We got dropped like a hot potato because, you know, I don't want to say they lied to us, but they have big plans with us and everything. But I think they figured out maybe they didn't like the plans after 3 weeks. Maybe they figured out that gimmick is not really like something for a PG product. And maybe we just, you know, see what we can do if they maybe come up with something, which we did. Maybe they have like, we find like a niche where we can just, you know, use them, which they didn't. But yeah, in the end, it ended with like a lot of dog matches, a lot of like negativity on our part. We try to stay positive, but it's, you know, you get caught into fuck it. Sorry for cussing. That's
fine. On you go.
Oh, good. So, and that being said, like I was very happy when I think it was in Montreal when they had like the shake off, and I got like WWE has this talent relation app where you get like your appointments for, you know, you have like a calendar and there's a red dot on it. It says you have something to do.
Be here
and
now.
I got dots for NXT UK in Glasgow, and I was asking Triple H, so what's that all about? He said, yeah, I don't know what they want to do with here, but I see you guys sitting around catering. I don't want that. That's, you know, you're all talented. We want to split you guys off, and Killian is going back to NXT US. I want you to go to NXT UK and get together with you guys, because he knew like the ring camp stuff is real. And Eli was staying there because of reasons I don't know. Personally, I think he wanted to stay there. And then, yeah, rest is NXT UK history.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to ask you about two people and then look back to what you're going to do next. The two people are probably pretty obvious. I want to ask about Nikki Cross, just what you think about her as a person and a performer.
Yeah, sister from another mister. Yeah, she's one of my best friends for sure. One of the most generous and realest person I know in this fake business. And fake business is, we all know it's show, and I still love it because it's 100% like athlete stuff and sports entertainment. But in this business, you have a lot of like fake people. You know, they smile you in the face and they want to kind of stab you with a knife in the back. That's how it is. That's, I think, how it is in life in general. But she is, since day one of the most like person like in my life, and also one of my best friends. And again, such an awesome performer and even more better person. And I do not want to miss her like as a friend. So even when I go back to Germany, I'm sure, because she's married with one of my best friends as well. Yeah. So basically both like a big part of my career here. And I really had so much fun times with her on tour and touring together, driving in the car, even before Killian then got signed by WWE. And yeah, it's always fun to be around her. Bundle of joy.
Yeah, and they've got the bonus that if you move to Germany, they've got a free accommodation when they come on holiday to Germany. They can just come and live with you for a week and they're sorted.
Yeah, why not?
The one other person I want to ask about, and this is, you know, it's kind of, I want to ask about a rumor about this person. You know, you mentioned being in Imperium, Walter being someone that, you know, is a massive presence. And it's always talked about, you know, Walter going to America. And we've seen you guys, you know, go back and forth. But it's always, you know, Walter doesn't want to live in America. Is that something you felt, you know, held you back? Or was it just the kind of thing where you're like, well, it's just life because you want to live in Germany as well?
It's not a mystery that he doesn't want to live in America. And I understand this. I had some great 6 years here. I had like the change of culture, because European and especially German culture is very different than the American culture. But so I never had a problem. But he, since the first day, he said, I would never want to live here. I think he had some tours with some WWE shows over and sometimes wrestled for some other promotions at the same time, and he kind of like didn't like that. So, and he's very keen on staying in Germany where everything is fine, and he has this place where he can just, go back to privacy, and he's a very private guy. He's not like an inner city living guy. He lives outside of the country, and yeah, he probably will not move to the States soon, but never say never. I don't know. So, but what I'm concerned, like I spoke with him about like, hey, I want to move back to Germany because, we just spent some time there at 2020, and we figured out it's probably, we had like, we compare, like, you have life in the States, which is okay, but it's like a medal, you have the good side and the bad side, but like, it was more balanced in Germany. So I talked with him, he said, yeah, I told you, kind of. It's like the same with, for example, Ilya. He's the same. He does not want to move over to the States at all. And I respect that. And for me, it was no choice back in the day. Like 2015, there was nothing. There was some English promotions. WXW was running around in Germany, but I took it by a chance. But I had to move. I didn't mind it because I was open for an adventure. But I don't know, like nowadays, if you have a chance to do NXT UK, for example, or even like you want to do something over there, I don't know. But the good thing with Walter is he's such a massive presence, and he's such a superstar. And in my opinion, one of the best, when not the best, in this company right now, who has this like persona and everything, and even without doing as much as some people do, and not even get 50% of that. So good for him that he is kind of like the decision maker on that. You know
Definitely.
what I mean?
Yeah, and I want to ask, we've mentioned that you want to move back to Germany, so I guess, that might be a bit of an indication as to what you do next. I would love it if you said, I'm going to revamp Ring Camp, we're going to take over the world, but what do you want to do next? Do you want to go to, maybe work in AEW, work in Impact a little bit, or do you just want to do the indies? What's next?
I'm almost open for everything. But first off, it has to be professional. I got some booking requests from some shows in America, and without being disrespectful, it did not look professional enough. And I do not, even if they pay me a lot of money, like if they pay me so much money that I can say, okay, it would be a gig to take. It would be okay, but I know like I have to watch out that I not show up everywhere.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And I do not want to sound arrogant or anything, but I had the chance to build up a brand over the 6 years, and I know what I can do, and that I can do something valuable for a promotion. Basically, I will for now move back to Germany. It depends, something else flies in. I reached out to some guys I trained with, I traveled with, I'm good with, to see what opportunities will come. And then basically, so let's say the rare plan is move back to Germany, settle down. Luckily, I was smart enough to get an apartment already. In the time I spent there, it was like a 3/4 of a year I was in Germany. So me and my wife, we got ourselves a nice apartment and just furnished everything, and have all the stuff ready. So we kind of like go back into an almost like apartment which is already settled. So I go back to Germany to see what's going on there, and also we have still like this pandemic stuff happening with COVID. So nothing is really open. I hear in Germany they are kind of getting a little bit looser with like the restrictions, but like it will be hard for sure. Right now it will be something like I don't think that really a show schedule is possible right now in Germany. I don't know how it is in the UK. I hear that Scotland is pretty tight right now as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. That's the thing. Or like in even like 5 weeks, because I will not fly back that early. when my contract ends. So I will stay a little bit longer in the States for some weeks. Then I will fly back, and then we'll see what's up. But like with me right now, and that's an extra thing. I want to like wrestle again. Also, I want to do something like I will not show up and one promotion I've never been like not really associated with. So I have a few promotions. I'm kind of like looking where I'm going with that. Maybe they have a show right there. Maybe they have something where it's when you show up in one promotion, it kind of takes the pop away. So I kind of like seeing like, hey, there's a promotion I worked before, so now they get this. Okay, I'm like my independent wrestling debut is on that promotion. Or you have another promotion which I never worked, but they're quite big. So I get in contact with them and they say, hey, we want to book you, and your independent debut, your re-debut is at that show. So it depends what comes to, but I don't want to take just the first thing what kind of like gets thrown at me, just to, keep the quality of my work just up there.
It's like you can pick your spot now. You can see what comes up. But I love that you've got a plan, but you're happy for the plan to be thrown out the window if something comes along.
I had a plan B for a couple of years. That's the thing, because I like to be prepared. And for me, it was always like, what if?
Yeah.
And what if was in my head, okay, I need to have a plan B. And as soon as the what if happens, the plan B need to, happen.